The Spirit series got a lot more attention than I and probably many others anticipated, so even though the hype might have died down a bit by now, I wanted to get at least a short follow-up for the A1 out, because I received a lot of questions about it after my Inside the C1 and E1 VR video. I would have loved to spend more time with the A1, but in about a week the IAE will bring new ships and take the spotlight from the Spirit series for a while. Speaking of which, if the IAE brings us a new interesting concept ship, I will try to make another VR tour as soon as possible. So as long as I have no Discord or anything like that, feel free to just come back to this video and spam your questions about anything I could investigate in another VR tour. But back to the A1. I want to make clear once again, everything I show is based on CIG's HoloViewer model, with the interior built by me. So even if I got it perfectly right, which is unlikely, this ship is in concept and will most likely change. That said, I try to get it as accurate as possible with the information we have right now. What I did this time, instead of just model by eye, I matched the camera focal length and angle of the official cross-section drawing of the A1, aligned the model up and built everything from this perspective. It is not 100% accurate, but I would assume it gets very close. With that out of the way, let's head inside. I'm not going to go over all of the details and information from the FAQ, that has already been widely covered, but here are some of the basics. The size was now corrected to 46.5 meters in length, 43.5 meters width and 10 meters height. Those 10 meters of height do count the landing gear, without it's more like 8. That all matches with the scale I used in my first Spirit video, even though I said 49 meters at one point. I had a headset on and couldn't look it up. This ramp is now also confirmed to be the only entrance in all 3 variants. There will be no external lifts and no docking collars. Before we get to the main attraction, the first important question I got a lot: can it fit vehicles, and if so, which ones? Only the C1 is designed to fit a vehicle, not multiple, which can be cyclone sized. The E1 and A1 do not support them, but CIG expects players to cram smaller ones in the entrance area. That invalidates my theory that this door is the deciding factor, so at this point I'm not even sure it is a door anymore. Maybe it's just a gate to separate the areas. But since there's no difference here between the 3 current concept cross-sections that I can find, that means CIG will put something in place to make only the C1 able to carry, which means there's no point in speculating any further. I could tell you the current A1 model fits an SUV in the back, but this is a design decision they seemingly have not fully committed to, so let's move on. What makes the A1 stand out from the other 2 is the bomb bay. It carries 10 size 5 bombs. I think these are the first size 5s in the verse, so we don't really know what that means in terms of power, but since they are taller than a person, I would expect enough firepower to make a difference. The Q&A also confirmed that at least at launch of the ship there will be no option to swap these out. It was stated that it would be possible at a later date, when more different bomb types are available, but these launchers themselves you won't be able to swap out for smaller ones, for carpet bombing for example. I want to talk about cargo in a second, but let's finish the tour first. There will be no modularity on these ones, not even to convert, say, the A1 into an E1. These are separate ships. This middle area will probably only house the components in here. Also, we know now that all 3 variants in fact have 2 beds, not just 1, as well as a small kitchen area and an integrated shower toilet. I have not placed them here because the drawings give no information, but I would guess they are both on this side, because this one in the drawing looks to me like a place for player inventory. And now lastly, one of the questions asked many times: while the A1 and E1 have no cargo space for SCU boxes, can I still use it for the smaller boxes for delivery missions? Let's be clear. Whoever asked wants to know if he can smuggle mace with the A1. And I'm happy to say that not only that, there's enough space to build a mace in here. But seriously, there's more than enough space for that. I managed to fit about 1100 boxes in here when maxing the space out. But more realistically, for example, this setup is 332 boxes, where you can still access all bomb launchers, while there still is some space for more here and there. Don't take any of these numbers as facts, things will change, just to get a general idea. All that said, in the latest Inside Star Citizen they said this.
With the new system, we've gotten rid of the 1/8 SCU cargo containers. Everything is 1 SCU cargo containers.
But I believe what he meant to say is they removed the 8th SCU boxes from the system that spawns cargo in the remains of destroyed ships, not removing them from the game entirely. And that concludes my A1 tour. No fancy outro this time, I'll need to prep for the IAE. Thank you for watching and see you there.